Welcome back to Breakdown. Today is August 24th, 2023. JJ, a lot of stuff going on in the world of sports, college sports. We're going to talk Big Ten, SEC, a little ACC even. You ready to do it?
I'm ready to do it. It's week 0.
Week 0. We can preview week 0. How about that?
How about it? We have one SEC team involved, no Big Ten teams, but we'll preview another game as well.
Okay, so week 0 starts on Saturday. The SEC team will be Vandy. Who they playing?
We're playing Hawaii. It's a
Hawaii.
rematch from last season.
Last season.
Yeah, they narrowly squeaked by the Rainbow Warriors by a score of 63-10 last year. So let's see if they return a lot. Vandy returns a lot, so let's see what.
And what? This is their coach. This is his second or third year.
I believe
It's his third.
Third, yeah. He's been there since 2020. Clark, yeah.
He's improved every year. Last year they won 5 games.
Yeah.
Will they be bowl eligible this year?
Well, the over under this year, you know what it is?
5.
3.5.
3.5.
Have you looked at the schedule?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough in conference. It's very, very tough in conference.
I like their coach though.
Yeah.
I like their coach. What's your take on that game?
The Hawaii Vandy game?
Mm-hmm.
I think I think Vandy's a 17.5 point favorite. I don't know if they're expected to cover, but I know their starting quarterback comes back. He's going to be a true sophomore. Their leading receiver comes back. He had almost 800 yards receiving. And like one of their best defenders in the secondary comes back. The leader in interceptions is a safety. He's going to be a sophomore next year. But they do lead their leading rusher. He had over 1,000 yards.
They lost him.
Yeah, he actually he's the reason they beat Kentucky last year. And Kentucky said if you can't beat them, join them. And
So he went to Kentucky.
so he went to Kentucky.
Okay.
So they lose over 1,000 yards of production on the field. And then their best linebacker is now playing for the New Orleans Saints. So
Okay. That game is in Nashville, correct?
I believe so.
I think so. I think last year they were in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Any other games, week 0, you want to talk about?
Well, Notre Dame isn't in the SEC or in the Big Ten, but they're in Big Ten country, and they're playing Navy, which is a traditional rival of theirs. It's a pretty interesting game. It's one of the best games of week 0.
Really? Now, is it going to be in the United States?
I do believe it is going to be in the United States.
What about?
I'm not sure. Where is it? Do you know where it's going
I
to
was thinking it was Ireland. Maybe I'm wrong.
be? Maybe it is in Ireland. I can't remember. I honestly don't remember if it's in Ireland.
I think it's Ireland.
I know Notre Dame has played in Ireland two years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may be wrong, JJ. I'll double check later on. Put it in the comments. But you think that's going to be better than the Vandy Hawaii game? Why? Why would that be a better game?
Navy has a pretty good program. They've been more competitive against Notre Dame recently, and Notre Dame won 8 games of the regular season, 9 games with a bowl game, and they have the transfer Sam Hartman coming in from Wake Forest. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they look. Marcus Freeman's second year.
You know what? I think they're only going to get better. Personally, I think last year was a learning process for Freeman. I don't think he was actually ready to go from Jump Street, but I think he learned, and I think he's going to grow into that job. 8 wins is not a bad win, bad total, and I do think they're going to get better. Their recruiting for next year has really impressed me.
Yeah.
So I think Marcus Freeman is growing into that job, and I think eventually Notre Dame is going to be the old Notre Dame. But that's just my take. That's my take. So JJ, you want to talk about some SC? Are there more games in week 0 you want to talk about, or you want to move on to something else?
We can move on. I know San Jose State plays USC. San Jose State, I know, won the Mountain West 2 years ago, and they went bowling the last 3 years under their current coach. But they lost a lot in the transfer portal. They got picked apart by teams that are able to pay. So, I mean, it'll be nice to see USC, the Heisman Trophy winner, Caleb Williams. It'll be nice to see him and all the transfers and see how they look in that offense. But I don't expect San Jose State to actually give them much of a run for their money. And then other than that, it's just like Ohio, San Diego State, like games like that. But nothing really to.
Okay, you mentioned USC though. The one thing that interesting, you heard what Reggie Bush just did, right?
He sued the NCAA.
He's suing the NCAA. He wants his Heisman.
Well, he deserves his Heisman.
I agree.
Yeah.
But JJ, let's talk Big Ten schools who are in the Big Ten right now this year.
Okay.
Let's go to Ann Arbor. What's the news in Ann Arbor?
Yeah, so last time we talked, we had announced the news that the NCAA could not come to an agreement with Michigan, so the 4-game suspension had been rescinded.
For the 4-game suspension of Coach Harbaugh.
For Jim Harbaugh
had been suspended the last time we talked. But what's new?
But now, even though the NCAA rejected that, University of Michigan has self-imposed a 3-game suspension. I know now. I did remember, before they implemented the 4-game suspension, and it also included a 1-game suspension for the offensive coordinator and for the tight ends coach.
That's right.
Now, I'm not sure about that. Do you know whether this 3-game suspension includes a suspension for either one of those guys?
For those coaches, I do not. I'd be surprised if it is though.
Yeah.
Okay. What 3 games?
Oh well, those are the
first 3.
Yeah, the first 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
right before Rutgers. I can't remember who.
So,
East Carolina is one of them.
So nobody of any substance.
No, nobody of substance.
Okay.
Nobody to worry about.
Okay. What else is going on, JJ?
Well, the only other thing of note to bring up is the talk of the ACC heating up with SMU, Stanford, and Cal potentially join the ACC.
Conference realignment.
Yeah, we thought conference realignment was over. It's not. Apparently, Stanford and Cal are talking in discussions with ACC joining at a reduced rate for the first 7 years, and SMU is talking about joining at a rate in which they would accept $0 for the first 7 years.
Let me ask you: Is that a good deal for? Is that a better deal for the ACC, or is it a better deal for those 3 schools?
I think that's a better deal for the ACC because I think that they can try to use that to leverage. The 4 schools that voted no. They needed 12 schools to vote yes, and then we got 11 schools in the last.
So 12 of the 15 ACC schools would have to vote yes.
Yeah. So last cycle, North Carolina State, Clemson, and Florida State all voted no.
Okay.
But if Cal and Stanford are willing to reduce their rates largely enough, ESPN said that they would give extra. I can't remember how much. I think it was like $50 or $60 million. If that's something that appeases the Florida State and Clemson's of the world, I think that's a.
We know that for Florida State, it's all about the Benjamin.
Yeah.
So in this case, Florida State would be getting more money. So there should not. I can't see any reason for Florida State to be opposed to this deal. And if Florida State changes their vote, that means SMU, Cal, and Stanford would become ACC members. Correct?
That would be the case.
What do you think the odds are of that happening?
I think Florida State is the wild card here. North Carolina and North Carolina State, I don't really understand their motives as much.
Neither do I.
And Clemson and Florida State, I know that they're the big dogs. They're the earners. They're the people that want the revenue to be shared based on viewers. TV viewers because
Correct.
They get the most viewers.
That's true.
So I get what they're gonna do. I understand that what their play is, and I think if it's enough money over long enough period of time, I think that it will appease Florida State or Clemson, and you'll get that necessary vote. What say you?
Oh, I think it's big for the ACC because everyone else is growing, and the ACC doesn't want to lose people if their contract goes forever. But I think it's a great deal for SMU. SMU is in Big D, huge market there. Even though TCU's there as well. If SMU gets left out of the conference realignment, the chance of them ever getting back in is going to be almost zero.
Yeah, it's a pivotal moment for them. They have oil money. They have people that are willing to put money down in the front end. When they're not getting that revenue share. But if them being in the club, that does wonders for recruiting. That keeps them relevant. It keeps them, a player in the game. And I think that this is very important for them, more so than Cal and Stanford. I think Stanford, in the long run, will be able to join the Big Ten. I think SMU needs this the most.
Well, Stanford have that humongous endowment that they can survive virtually anything. But before we get out of here, JJ, the other 2 teams in the Pac-4, what's going to happen to them? And those 2 teams are Washington State and Oregon State.
They're going to join the Mountain West, and they're going to be a contender. They're going to immediately be contenders in the Mountain West, but I wouldn't pick either one of them to necessarily run away. I mean, Oregon State has put a lot of money into their new
Facilities.
their facility
Yeah.
redesign. Washington State, they hold like 35,000 people. I think that they're on par with a Boise State, on par with a San Diego State, on par with a Fresno State. But I don't think they're leaps and bounds ahead of them.
This is the thing, JJ. If you Washington State or if you Oregon State, your TV revenue has been being 30 million.
Now it's 5 million.
It's doing a good cut to 5 million. What you gonna do, man? That's a huge cut.
Do whatever it takes to survive. Do whatever it takes to join the Big 12. Do whatever it takes to. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do.
If you're coaching there right now, what you doing? You looking out, or you really coaching your team? You're looking to get out of there to get to another Power 5 conference.
If you're Jonathan Smith at Oregon State, I mean, he was the quarterback at Oregon State when Chad Johnson was there. He might have some loyalty just because of that, but
Well, I'm sure these coaches, their salary when their contract is up, their salary is gonna get decimated.
now Oregon State is in a unique situation because Phil Knight has traditionally helped them out.
Really, I did not know that. I thought
Yeah.
he was just an Oregon guy. So he's Oregon.
He
he's
has
Oregon
helped them
State.
out, and
Okay.
there has been some talk that he might financially back Oregon State a little bit with Oregon leaving.
Okay.
But I don't know if they can support an entire football program. I honestly don't know what Oregon State's going to do or Washington State, but they're going to have to take the step back that SMU took all those years ago.
Yeah, that's right. JJ,
That-
not this week, but next week, week 1.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Are you ready for some football?
Arkansas is playing. We're going to see Coach Prime play TCU. Yeah, I'm ready for week 1.
Week 1, that's the game that I'm really looking forward to is Colorado and TCU.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking forward to Arkansas and Western Carolina.
I had a feeling you might be interested in Arkansas.
Okay, I'm also looking at Michigan. I saw Michigan State and CMU. There was a headline that said "Upset Alert, Michigan State." Did you
Hey.
buy that?
CMU's done it before. I've been in the building when it's
We know
happened
that,
before.
but did you buy that this year?
I
don't
know.
buy it.
I don't know if
I don't-
Antonio
I don't-
Brown is walking through that door.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
I don't know about that.
But
one.
JJ, anything else before we get out of here?
No, I got nothing.
We'll be back to preview week 1. Make sure you join us next time. All I got to say, JJ, WPS, Woo Pig Suey. Can we get out?
Who they?
Adios.